Hey everybody, it's Blue and welcome to another video. Recently I uploaded a video about Genshin Impact, where I basically criticized a lot of the systems and problems I think the games have, and how they could improve it. Now I made that video because I love Genshin Impact. I mean, when I started playing the game, it sparked my imagination in a way a game hasn't done in a very long time. I think it's such a beautiful world, and it just makes you wonder what's coming next. That being said, as I progressed through the game, I noticed these issues, and because I love the game so much, I wanted to address them and just see the game perform better. Obviously, it's a gacha game, so... Fuck. Obviously, it is a gacha game, so not everything is going to be great. But I do think, even so, this game has so much potential. With all of that being said, let's talk about the things I love about Genshin Impact. Focused character crafting. Now, this is something that they added pretty recently, to where you have the ability to open your crafting table and select a certain character, and from there you can see exactly how many materials you need to craft in order to achieve something. For example, upgrading a talent or ascending your character. This is just a wonderful quality of life, and I think it deserves praise because I don't think there's a single other gacha game that does this, from my knowledge. Alright, next up, and this is a pretty big one for me, is the fact that Genshin Impact just has a very beautiful and colorful world with intricate layers to explore and cave systems. I think this is awesome, and it really sets it apart from other games. These areas are sometimes designed with world quests in mind, and wow, like some of the world quests in this game are so just visually stunning and impactful, and will leave permanent changes to your world after you complete them, which I think is super fucking cool. For example, the giant tower in Fontaine, yeah, that just completely sinks underwater once you complete that world quest, and just changes your world forever. Another thing I appreciate about Genshin Impact is its very expansive lore, and while I'm not a student of the lore, I do appreciate it existing. Another thing this game does very well is character design. I mean, every character just looks unique, different, and very cool. I'm thinking Archons like Nahida and Farina. I'm thinking Scaramouche along with the rest of the Fatui. The list goes on. And Yaimiko. Yeah. She's got two big ol' stories I care about. Even their gameplay kits feel varied and fun. Whether it's an elegant performance or violently crushing someone with a meteor, there's something for everybody. And of course, these characters wouldn't be as great if it wasn't for their great voice actors. I think Hoyo has done a very good job at hiring people who really, truly fit the characters. And not only that, I admire the voice actors for hosting these events, such as Zach Aguilar's Among Us events and stuff like that. I think the community really appreciated that and made some really cool things from it as well. Admittedly, they don't do that nowadays, but I still appreciate them for doing it at all. Okay, as a Destiny 2 player, this next one hits really hard for me, and that is the release of diverse and consistent new enemies. As someone who is always begging Bungie to add new enemies to Destiny, it feels so good to not have to do that with Genshin Impact, because every new region brings with it unique enemies to fight and mechanics to learn. It might be a weird thing to praise, but if you were in my shoes with the whole Destiny thing, I think you would feel the same way. And while we're on the topic of Destiny, one thing I can really appreciate Genshin Impact for is just how big your inventory space is. I mean, in Destiny, you can only hold 9 slots for each type of gear, and the rest you would have to send to your vault, which is like a storage unit in the main social space, and keep the rest there. And just for some perspective, if you were to translate this over to Genshin, well, that means you can only hold 9 weapons and 9 artifacts. That doesn't sound fun, does it? Alright, enough Destiny shade, let's move on. Because they did kind of fix the issue recently with you being able to access your vault within your inventory at any given time, so it's okay. Kind of going along with the inventory system, it's nice that every single item can be used for something. Whether it's crafting, upgrading, or simply using the parametric transformer gadget, whatever you gather in Teyvat will have a use for something. And how could I praise Genshin Impact without mentioning the music? Honestly, I think it speaks for itself in most cases, but I'll just throw on some of my favorite tracks on screen right now. Next up, I want to talk about the nations of Teyvat and how I think they're very inspired and unique. Each nation has its own theme and values. These values usually come from their respective archons. As a result, each nation feels very distinct from each other, and the people of the nation, as well as the landscapes, tells a story as you explore. And speaking of nations, each nation has its own unique element. Now, personally, I think the elements in Genshin Impact are very cool. I very much like their symbols. I honestly do really like the elemental reaction system. I think it would be very fun to have in a game like Destiny. I know I said I would stop talking about Destiny, but yeah, I did it anyways. Next up, co-op. This game is just so much more fun with friends. Is Mika supposed to look like a chicken?
Yeah.
And while I do think they could make a lot of improvements to co-op, I can't deny that there are some very fun things you can do with your friends. For example, just messing around, spinning a wheel, and choosing randomly what characters to fight a boss with. It's always a fun time, and honestly, I could get lost in it and just spend all day doing it. Another rewarding aspect of Genshin Impact are the achievement name cards. In some categories, if you 100% every achievement, you can earn a name card. This allows you to show off your passion for certain aspects of the game, for example fishing or exploration. And last but not least, the Serenitea Pot. Believe it or not, the Serenitea Pot is actually one of my favorite gameplay features. Not only can you increase your fellow characters' friendship levels, but you can also earn silver, which you can use to trade in for very useful materials like resin and experience books. I love constructing new buildings and getting creative with the layouts, and there's just so many different things to mess around with. In fact, there's even a whole portion I haven't even gotten to yet, which is the interior design. You can decorate your whole house. And one of my favorite features is that you can select a soundtrack to play within your Serenitea Pot. That being said, you do have to collect them. They look like golden donuts. Just a reminder, this video was purposefully positive to show off the things I love about Genshin Impact. But make no mistake, I know the game is not in the best state now, but I just wanted to make a positive counterpart to my other video. Alright everybody, that should do it for this video, and wait, huh. I feel like I'm forgetting about something. Oh yeah, Sealies are kind of cool, I guess. Alright, jokes aside, thank you guys so much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed the video today. If you want to see more videos like this, remember to leave a like and consider subscribing. The day this video goes live, I will be going through wisdom teeth removal surgery, so 1 like equals 1 prayer, everything doesn't go wrong. I hope to see you again very soon. Peace out. Remember to make a femboy joke just like this guy in the comments.